Guys, it's Fonzie with DipYourCar.com. This is the dipping industry, dipping podcast, DipCast, episode number 27. We're back from hiatus. It's Fonzie from DipYourCar.com. With me, as always, is Adam and our sound engineer, Dan. We had a bit of a break because last week, Adam decided to frolic around the country.
Hey, got to do what you got to do.
And I was sick on Wednesday, which, wouldn't have mattered because we probably wouldn't have done it without Adam. That's what we told him, but we would have. And Dan would have been sitting right there.
We would have had half the viewers.
Once they found out. Title of the episode, Without Adam. But we're back, and we are exhausted. We've got a lot going on right now. Mm-hmm. And you want to run through what we're going to cover this episode. We're going to try and run through an episode with some pressing items that we wanted to cover, but we're not going to linger for too long because everybody's got stuff to do.
Got to hit that beach, 4th of July.
That's not what I meant, considering we're also working 4th of July.
All right, so we're going to touch base on the sale, new release of some gallons that we recently put out. Mm-hmm. Not last week, but last episode, you touched base on how you wanted to talk a little bit about temperature restrictions. We've talked in the past about temperature restrictions on the cold end. We're going to talk about on the high end. Yeah. Showcase shout-outs, and then we have some exciting news to put out there.
We do?
Some interactive participation.
Oh, interactive.
Yeah, I mean, that's exciting. It's exciting for you, and it's exciting for them.
It's intriguing. It's all right, all right.
I'm
when you say
now.
We have some exciting news, I mean, you got to be careful because people are going to start thinking like we have some fully anticipated or long anticipated bomb to drop, like
Cali gallons.
Cali gallons.
It's not Cali gallons.
It's not Cali gallons. But we are so. I'm not even going to go on record on this.
Isn't that what this is?
No, I'm preemptively saying that this doesn't count. But we are so close on Cali gallons.
Ooh,
so close.
That's exciting news.
Hey, yeah. So what are we covering first?
All right. So let's just. I mean. There's not really too much to say. Obviously, we're having a sale.
Oh, well, I mean, there's something to say because let's just say this. Two things I'd like to cover. One is we don't have a lot of sales now. 2013, we had like 9 sales that year. Mm-hmm. Last year, we had maybe 5 or 6. This year, we only have 3 scheduled. One of them we already did. This is another one for the summer sale, and then there isn't another one scheduled until Black Friday.
Right.
So with that said, if you want to save on Dip Your Car products at all within the next 4 to 5 months, now is the time to do that.
Yeah.
Second, if you're a wholesale customer, if you are an authorized DYC reseller or installer and you're listening to this is twice as large as any sale as we've ever had on the wholesale side. From a percentage point of view, this is 2 times more off than we've ever had. I don't know if we're ever going to do this part of it again, from a financial and from a numbers point of view, but we wanted to do something special for the summer for all the wholesalers and the installers and the resellers, because now is a hot time for everybody.
Right.
It's busy. And it's going to start to slow down a little, taper off once it gets cold in December, January. So right now, if this is the busiest time, we wanted to give you an opportunity to raise your profit margin as much as physically possible. So if you are a DYC wholesale customer and you are going to stock up on any dip, if you're going to buy any dip or Dip Your Car products in the next several months, there's no reason why now should not be the time, because you're going to save more now than literally ever.
Yeah, I had a gentleman actually call in today, and he was like, he actually had called in earlier this week and asked for a quote. Gave him a quote. He was ordering what seems to be a lot of product. He was doing probably 5 or 6 trucks. He's just a do-it-yourselfer, and he called in today. Hey, Adam, does it make sense to order this much product right now? I said, this is absolutely. You want to package as much as this stuff together as possible, because you're not going to be paying multiple shipping rates, and you're just going to be saving a butt ton of costs on product.
Yeah, and Dan knows is working in the distribution department. I mean, the distribution department has been like an explosion today of people trying to do what would be an intelligent thing to do. And when I'm talking about this is what I would do in that position, not what I want you to do from my
Right.
position now. Margins are margins. Don't buy anything if you're not sure you're going to use it. Don't stock up on fluorescent pink gallons.
Right.
But the stuff that you know you're going to use, the black, DYC top coat pearls, things like that, black aerosols, might as well make sure that you get what you need.
Right. Absolutely.
Enough of that.
Well, I was going to say, for a lot of those guys that do like displays and stuff like that, and how do I get customers to kind of have something tangible to hold on?
Yeah.
Buy those speed shapes, buy the sample packs and
Yeah.
stuff. Spray all that stuff, hang it up in your area, so something tangible for those guys that come in and say, "Hey, I want my car dipped." And instead of saying, "Okay, we'll go to the website," maybe they walk out, they don't have anything to hold on to. You don't book that appointment. If you put that stuff up, that's a great opportunity for you.
Sure it is.
So, all right. Well, we recently came out with some new gallons.
We did.
They're 20% off right now until
They
Sunday.
are. We have brought some of the classic muscle car aerosol colors to gallon form in PDS. They're coming out in waves. And then at the end of the day, not all of them are coming out, because there's a handful of them that are just so freaking close to DYC full spectrum colors that what would be the point? And what we have right now, what's available on the site right now, is Grabber Blue. I really should have looked into
Flame
this.
Red.
Flame Red.
Go
Mango. And 50s Aqua. What are those? Say them one more time.
50s Aqua, Grabber Blue, Go Mango, Flame Red.
Yeah, those are all available right now at DipYourCar.com on Pro Car Kits and gallon bundles and everything. What's coming next week is Hemi Orange, Panther Pink. It might be Hugger Orange. I'm not sure.
Yep.
But another orange and Panther Pink are coming out, I think, Monday of this coming week.
Okay.
And
And-
Plum Crazy.
When's Plum Crazy coming?
Next week.
Okay, Plum Crazy's coming there again. So a lot of those are going to end up being there. Now, what I wanted to say about these, I used Flame Red, and I said it in the Firestorm video. The coverage on that color is not spectacular. Now, reds are notoriously known for not having great coverage.
Right.
I would still like to see better than what Flame Red was, even over a white base coat. 4 to 5 coats over a white base coat. Be prepared for 4 to 5 coats of wet overlapping coats. And I don't know. I can already tell you it doesn't. That lack of coverage doesn't translate to all muscle car colors. I do know that for a fact because we were playing around with the 50s Aqua today, because we have a video scheduled next week to be using the 50s Aqua. So it's definitely not as bad as the red, and I really don't expect the Hugger, the Hemi Orange, the Panther Pink, definitely Plum Crazy. I don't expect those to have poor pigment coverage either. But what we are going to do is we're going to say, as a default, to, just like the aerosols, use a white base for all of the muscle car colors. That's going to be our default suggestion right now. They may prove that the majority of them you don't need a white base.
Right.
But if you want the boldest, brightest, most opaque coverage for those colors, right now we definitely know that going over a white base is the way is going to guarantee that. So if we know that that's the safety net, the default, we're going to stick with that until we can give you intelligence to go in another direction.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that in the video, but it didn't really even seem to matter because so many people seem to love that color combination.
Yeah, Flame Red's flying right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a beautiful red. It's a bold red. It's deep.
Just know you're going to need to use a little bit more of it.
There's a picture on my Instagram that shows what the Flame Red looked like before the pearls.
Right.
And it was beautiful.
It was.
And it made that color combo. It made the Firestorm. If we used regular red, the contrast wouldn't be there, and it would just look so orange.
Right.
So I'm really glad that it worked out the way that it did. So just be prepared, man. White base coat. Make sure you have enough for 4 to 5 coats. And if anything's different other than that, we'll let you know. But very excited for those. Everybody loves when new PDS colors come out.
Absolutely.
They're so usable. Drop them just flat matte. Throw some Dip Your Car top coat in it at 50-50 for your last 2 coats for a clean satin. Use them as bases for pearls. They're freaking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to seeing some of the experimenting with those color combinations, kind of like you did. I liked that blend. That was a unique type of unplugged.
We're doing that again next week, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going to use the Dip Your Car or the muscle car colors on another car next week, and we're doing a new kind of color combo for
Cool.
it. Because I don't want to just come out there and use the gallons plain old
Here it
every time.
is.
I may on a couple, maybe Hugger Orange, maybe Hemi Orange.
And
or
you know, you
Plum
kind of
Crazy.
did that with Flame. You gave people the
That's
preview
the
that they
idea.
wanted.
That's as long as I can give them one resource to go to saying, here's what it looks like without anything on top of it. As long as we take that one picture, that's enough of a reason.
Right.
But let's give them something. We have something very cool planned for the 50s Aqua. And we have it planned on a cool car, a car that we don't do very often at all. And I know it would make sense if it was a muscle car. You're probably thinking Challenger. It's not, but a car that you've seen once before that we haven't done in a long time.
You know, Jared's going to be excited about that 50 Aquas.
Yeah, he loves that stuff. Jared, our marketing and media manager, has a interesting taste, and he's he likes aqua mint type stuff.
Right. So let's move on. Let's talk about temperature restrictions. You know, it's getting hot down here. You know, we dip all year round. You have some people in the area and all across the country that, you know, are hitting triple digits and stuff like that.
I just want to tread lightly on this because I'm not going to condone or suggest the altering of the plastic dip products, because once you start getting into that, all people have to do is screw their car up, come back and say, well, Fonzie said on the DipCast, juice it up with this and that. So I'm just going to say I can give you some suggestions on what may help if you're having problems installing in hot weather. Don't tell me it's hotter than it is in South Florida.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
So we're deep down in South Florida. It's extremely hot and extremely humid. So we're in the worst case scenario. The back of our shop is not climate controlled. It's 98 point something degrees back there with 80 something % humidity. I mean, it's just worst case scenario. So, and we get the job done. So when somebody says, I can't dip, it's 92. Well, yeah, you can, but you have to change your behavior a little bit, change the application. So all I'm going to say is this, the product is going to flash faster in the hot weather. It's going to dry faster. If you're using the DYC gun like I do, you're probably going to be okay from an overspray point of view, from a texture point of view. If you're using HVOP gun, a compressor gun, a high-end turbine, a lot finer atomization, you're going to have to dial back your air or increase your product flow or go with a bigger tip size, because in the hot weather, it's going to dry quick. That overspray is going to dry in midair sometimes, and you're going to be slamming dust on your car. You're going to be slamming like wispy stuff all over the place.
Right.
So let me say this. If you're using that high-end stuff and you're having problems, try dropping 5% xylene to volume in the product and start there. 10% at absolute maximum. 5% to volume on PDS or DYC top coat with xylene should bring it down to where your tip size, your airflow, and everything, your atomization is going to ease up a little. It'll allow it to wet out and not dry as you're going. But really, really pay attention to your passes. A 50% overlap may need to turn into a 60 or a 75% overlap just to make sure you're wetting everything out and it doesn't get, really dry.
All right. And that's about that.
That's about that.
Yeah. I don't know if that's really even a phrase, but okay. So your favorite part of the show, my favorite part of the show, showcase.
Yep.
Shoutouts.
Showcase Showdown.
There it is.
Showcase shoutouts. We did not have an episode last week, so we wanted to backdate some of the showcase shoutouts and make sure we give everybody as much love as we can. So we got 2 weeks worth of showcase shoutout love here, and we're going to rip through them pretty quickly just to make sure you guys can see what they are, but we've got 12 of them here, and we don't want to spend too much time on this. But we want to make sure you can see them because they're pretty darn sweet. First showcase shoutout, Ed Gilmore's Subaru with electric lime green across the entire car, and then the back fourth of the car is a black and blue base with Cobra color shift over it. Pretty intense. I think Cobra color shift might be over the whole thing, actually. Ed can jump in, on the thread, but it's electric lime green fading into black and blue. Pretty crazy. And then I think maybe Cobra color shift over the whole thing.
I believe
it
so.
Might be. Looks pretty crazy. I love stuff like that. Not because I think it's it's just I don't really know what to think about it. I love the fact that it's not normal.
It's different.
It's different. It's out there. He tried something. I love the back end looks so awesome. It's sharp. It's loud. I really appreciate stuff like that. Try something.
Right.
Just try something.
Right.
It's not permanent.
I was just going to say, worst case scenario, you peel it off.
And I bet you that guy gets eyeballs everywhere he goes. So Ed Gilmore, really very, very cool job on that. Sweet Sounds, authorized DipYourCar installer. Sweet Sounds did Ember Midnight Flip in DYC top coat on a BMW M Coupe. Jared's favorite car ever. Really cool. Ember Midnight Flip is an interesting color. The sun really has to come in and make those coppers pop. It's very dark and kind of menacing outside of the sun. And note on this, excellent application and execution of the DYC top coat. In most pictures, this car looks OEM, extremely glossy, nice and smooth. Sweet Sounds did a great job on that. So really, really cool job.
It's funny that you mentioned that one because a couple weeks ago I was driving on the highway and my fiance pointed out and she goes, "Is that car dipped?" We pulled up and it was Ember Midnight Flip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So very, very cool job there. Next one, Richard, with a bananas, again, a BMW M Coupe, an older model. Actually, yeah, I don't know which years each one of them is what, and I'm not even going to say anything. Jared's rolling over in his chair right now. This one is pretty nuts, man. It's like Candy Pearls Indigo type pearl with RL71 mixed in, and he does this insane geometric abstract tape job on the hood. Again, I'm not saying I feel one way or another about the shaping of it, but it's different. He tried something. I think it's unique, and you have to try and think outside the box, because you do something like that, you maybe realize that you can do it, and then you take it to the next level the next time, and who knows what this guy will end up doing.
Oh yeah, and he had PM'd me, I think it was last weekend or 2 weekends ago, about the amount of taping and the time that shaping took.
A ton of time. I mean, if that's measured out properly and all the perspectives and everything are accurate.
He said it's down to a millimeter or something like that.
Bring bravo to that guy, because that took a lot of work, so you should be very proud of it. Another authorized DipYourCar installer, 5280 DipCo. Really sweet. Mocha Bronze mix on a BMW 3 Series. Very sharp. I love colors like that. It just looks good in the light and in the dark. Really nice application. Solid pearl coverage. Plays really well off the black optics package and the black wheels. Love colors like that. I should be very proud. A lot of DYC installers on this week, and that's again not on purpose. We just kind of pick the ones that fall in. This one's very, very cool. It's a little bit on the older side. The Auto Skin, our buddy Ryan, did a Nautilus and Seafoam Green Pearl mix. Very fresh. It's like a very fresh, refreshing color. I really like this car. It looks good. It's not too bold and loud, but it's definitely not subtle. He did a really good job on the application on that one. Very sweet, the Auto Skin. And then 304 Dips, our boy Dave Mack. Man, one of the best freaking pearls on the planet, pure gold alloy on this FX35 Infinity. There's not much to say about it. Just looks absolutely stunning. Everything's blacked out. There's not much chrome on the car at all, except for the door handles and the back trim. Black wheels. It's just a satin, crisp, clean satin finish. Man, a pure gold alloy. The alloy pearls in general are just nuts. And pure gold is, in my opinion, just the best gold pearl out there. Just does nothing else looks like it. Kyle Harden, another alloy pearl, the burnt copper. Over his Camaro, black wheels, black trim, menacing, just super, super cool. Nice picture angle too. Kyle Harden did a nice job on this one. Again, alloy pearl, super solid coverage, pops in the sun, angry in the shade. So Kyle should be very proud of that one. Really sweet. Off the wall, kind of out there, Josh Menhart, the Simply Custom. We had him on a couple weeks ago for an interview. He does his mower in Phoenix color shift over red with some blue holographic microflakes over blaze blue on other parts. he'll just do whatever the hell he
Right.
wants.
Right.
He'll do whatever he wants, and he's the type of guy who's just gonna be like, I wonder what that would look like. And instead of wondering about it, if he's got the materials, if he's got the time and the energy, he'll just do it.
But he can't dip a car in a hamburger motif.
We'll see. Very, very cool job. Again, dip your mower, man. Like, why not? I think it's awesome. I want to buy a riding mower now, although we have no use for it. Your boy, Trey, got swag brown, olive blueberry, and the DYC top coat on his Honda. I love olive blueberry.
Yeah.
I love that color. It's very, very different. I had it on the Porsche for a while.
That's still one of my favorite colors on that Porsche.
It's definitely one of my favorite colors. I mean, every color we did on the Porsche is a competitor.
Right.
We never half-assed the Porsche with colors. Everyone we did was amazing. But olive blueberry is a nasty color.
Right.
It's been around forever.
Right.
And even still, if I had to pick like 5 colors that I can only use 5 colors for the rest of my life, olive blueberry would be in there for sure. Our boy Charles, sick nebula yellow on a, I believe, cobalt Chevy. I mean, black and yellow is a sick color combination. It's incredibly aggressive. DYC top coat and the nebula yellow, it's just super, super sharp. I mean, you look at the picture and you're just like, there's nothing you can say about that. It just looks beautiful. Right. Nebula yellow is nasty.
It is. It is
such a sweet freaking pearl. And it looks great on this car. This is a super sharp little car, man. So Charles should be happy with that. Can't let this go without a shout out. Jeremy Roars, Pearls and Pigments. He did that custom Firebelly orange with Team Orange on top of it on that C7 Corvette.
And it's funny because I think he did like 2 or 3 jobs in a row where he used this exact same combination because people.
Well, not necessarily, because he did Safety Cone Orange.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I know, on a GTR.
I know that people had seen that and were loving that type of combination.
Yeah, he's been doing some bright oranges.
Right.
But this is as clean as a dip job gets, man. DYC top coat all the way, topped with it for gloss as well. Dip jobs as a whole are going to go from absolutely horrendous to fantastic. It just doesn't really get that much better than this. Right. Pearls and Pigments, Houston, Texas, authorized DYC installer and official DYC retail center. This car is awesome. Jeff, the owner, is one of those guys who loves to put very, very, very sharp, bright, loud, awesome colors on his cars. And he's got a notorious reputation for driving some sick-looking vehicles. So he keeps going back to Jeremy. Jeremy does him right, and this color is awesome. And then how could we not? Tommy Nelson, with the help of Phil from Boston Dip and Detail, American flag theme on this Celica for 4th of July.
I mean, that was awesome.
And the showcase shout-outs on a awesome, super patriotic theme. Don't want to know how much time it took, but they did a very good job. Sharp lines, really, really cool job. So they should be proud of themselves. Obviously, they're proud of the country. I'm not going to say anything else about that. I think it's awesome, and they should be really excited about that because you have some energy behind something like that. You do it for a purpose.
I love those themes. Yeah,
because he wants to drive around and make a statement. This perfect timing for that. I know a lot of people do pink during Breast Cancer Awareness Month and all sorts of different things. I think this is awesome.
Absolutely.
So you don't see a lot of these, and when you do see something like that, it's rare that you see it executed properly. So those two guys did a great job.
Absolutely.
Very, very cool. And Boston Dip and Details, a authorized DipYourCar installer as well up there. So a lot of cool showcase, showdown, shout-outs this week and last week. So we'll get back to the normal schedule next week.
All right, cool.
That. So and we're finishing up with your exciting news.
Exciting news, absolutely. Well, everybody knows, yes, because you posted about it. We had a question about it on one of the trivia episodes that you're expecting a baby relatively soon, and we thought it would be fun to maybe put together a little baby pool and maybe do just another giveaway. We love doing that stuff.
Yeah, so what we'll do is I'm going to put a post up on my Fonzie Dip Your Car page. Not the yellow shirt, the red shirt page. Okay. All right, so go to search in Facebook, FonzieDipYourCar.com. The red shirt profile pic, that's the page.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put a post up on that, and it's just going to be a picture of probably the sonogram, and it's going to say the baby Fonzie pool or the Fonzie baby pool. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a comment on that picture. You want to put what? The date.
Date you think the
And I'll
baby
tell you
will
right
be?
now, the due date, the expected due date is July 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to put the date, the time of day he was born, and the weight. Right? Is that how this works?
Yeah, and maybe
I don't
length.
know what I'm talking
Length.
about. Nah, it's not too length.
Oh,
Three things, man. Where you're gonna have the same. You're gonna have more than one person who picks the date,
yeah.
the time, and the weight
Yeah.
to the ounce.
Yes.
Well, then they both win. What are you gonna do?
Oh,
All right, what are you gonna put the weight?
Congratulations, both of you.
Does the length go in this? I've
Yeah,
never done
length
this.
goes in this.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you?
Hopefully he's a little taller than you.
All right. Okay. Date, time of birth, weight, and length, and the person that gets the closest to that. There will be a winner. You don't have to get the person that gets closest to that gets $100 worth of dip points on DipYourCar.com.
Cool.
Boom.
One entry per.
One entry per. If you put more than one entry, I'm just going to delete it. So you don't know which one I'm going to delete, so put one.
Mm-hmm.
July 9th. That's next Thursday.
Yep.
He may come early. They say you usually aren't early on your first baby, so whenever he's born.
Look at you giving all types of clues.
What? He could be early, he could be late. I don't know.
I saw a clue.
You're just trying to instigate. You're not part of the pool, so forget about it. But so next week might be a very busy week for me. And I just wanted to say, a lot of people have been asking me to do this, so I am going to do it. When it's time to have the baby, I am going to post a lot of pictures throughout the process so you can follow along with the birth process on my Instagram page. Just from a timing point of view and when he's born and beforehand and everything. So I'll be you guys can run along that with me as we go.
Cool.
Other than that, Daniel, do you have anything to add?
Nope, I can't wait for that baby. It's going to be awesome.
Yep, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be very busy.
Very busy.
But we'll get it done. You?
I was just going to say, make sure when those that install dip of the month and installer of the month contests go live, make sure you're voting. I believe that the dip of the month is already live.
It may be, and by the time this gets live, the Installer of the Month, featured Installer of the Month contest may be on as well. Make sure you vote for that. Other than that, we'll check you on the next episode.